All right, so we're live.
Well, I was not expecting to get an arch rival today, but here we are.
Come on, man.
All right, I guess we're ready.
Oh, are we? Are we here? Hi.
Yeah, I have no idea. Not even paying attention.
Welcome, everybody.
Archrivals Show, the first show, trial run, but knowing anything that's go down in the annals of life. I'm Ricky, and
I'm Alex. What's going on?
this is actually called Archrivals for the reason of the arch rivalry of Raiders Patriots from the playoff game back in the snow, where Alex has his panties.
What did you say? You're cutting out real bad.
I said you still have your panties in a bunch about the tuck rule.
No, dude, fuck the tuck rule. Fuck the tuck rule. I don't have my panties in a bunch. Oh, that's robbery. That's more than robbery. That is rape. That's straight up fucking rape.
Well,
so won that fucking game.
Well, this is the reason why it's called Arch Rivals. For that, particularly that reason.
Some of us win Super Bowls and the other ones get raped.
Without lube. Anyway.
Without lube, just cold snow.
So basically what happens on the show is we'll be covering the NFL. We'll be giving reviews on games, more like recaps than anything else.
Yeah.
We'll go over the All-Stars of the weekend, and we'll have the Thursday night preview for, this week it's the Cleveland Browns and New York Jets. So I'll have to fucking deal with that.
Yeah, I got it. Let's just flip a coin and see who's going to win that game.
I actually am actually, being a native New Yorker, I am not rooting for the Jets. Let's just put it that way. I have a little bit of a hard on for the Browns this week. So.
Oh, do you? I mean,
yeah. Well,
the turds in the punch bowl. Like, what kind of a name is the Brown? I mean, I understand their mascot's like a dog, but like the Browns, like you realize they're forever like a shit joke now.
Well, just think of it this way: they're always dropping turds wherever they go. So there goes the Browns. Speaking of the Browns, who came into the week 0-1 after tying Pittsburgh last weekend, they played the New Orleans Saints down in New Orleans, and that game actually went to overtime, and the Saints won in OT.
Thank God they won, because I know there were 2 ties this week, and that's like hardly ever happened. Like, people were betting on if they were going to have any ties this season, and a bunch of guys were just like, no, man, I figured they might have one, but it's very unlikely. They usually have about one a season if we do. I mean, but it's very rare. So a bunch of guys bet no, there wouldn't be any ties this season. First fucking game, first weekend. There's a tie.
Well, the one thing I do got to say is that Cleveland is actually playing better this year with all of their off-season additions than they have been in the past. I mean, they actually have a decent quarterback. Offensive line is pretty good. They got a running back. Their defense is fairly good. They just can't finish games.
Yeah, but I mean, still, in the past few years, Cleveland still has the best start to the season than they've had in like 12 years. They are 0-1-1. They're still having a great time over there. I mean, They just got to win. They just got to win. They got to win one game, and then they'll burn the town down.
Well, just think of it this way: they can't really say that they lost the first week because of the tie. So the most they can go is 0-15-1. It just happens like that.
Yeah, but still,
I think
it's still a better season than last year. I guess
yes,
they
definitely.
won one last year.
Most definitely. Speaking about the tie, because both of the games actually kind of lead into each other. Pittsburgh and Cleveland had the tie last weekend. Now this weekend, it was controversial. Vikings and Packers. That game
they tied.
29-29 tie. However, that game would have not gone into overtime if they did not call the roughing the passer penalty on Clay Matthews. That put Minnesota into field goal position. They tied the game, and then obviously nobody could win. But the hit in itself, a lot of players, former and current, are saying that it was a clean hit, and the referees botched the call because of this new helmet rule, and that was the reason why they gave the Vikings the opportunity to tie.
But didn't their field goal kicker blow a fucking 3-point shot real bad?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just want to let the crowd know that producing.
They
over
both
here.
did actually, because
they both did. Yeah.
And he's looking for a new job. I'm gone.
No, he's not.
Believe it or not, a lot of kickers this week have been released because of this fact that they can't kick a simple field goal.
Well, didn't they push it back farther though?
It wasn't even that. It's not kicking the extra point. It's just kicking the actual regular 35 to 40-yard field goals that nobody can make.
Yeah,
which is usually an issue. So
the Raiders guy can do it. I'm not saying.
Who's the Raiders guy?
I can't remember his name, dude. We had Tavecchio last year, and then before that we had Seabass. So they let Seabass go. Then we had Tavecchio. We let Seabass go last year, and then Tavecchio signed with another team. They let Tavecchio go like right before the season started, and we've got this new guy, and I think his name's like Patterson, but he seems to be doing okay.
Well, let's talk about that game because that's your game, Alex.
Oh fuck!
Denver, Oakland.
That shit.
Release the beast on that one.
I'm gonna say I've never been a supporter of John Gruden. First and foremost, I just think he's a douchebag. So I'm just gonna put that out. All you Raider fans are gonna get mad about this. Whatever. That's just the way I feel. When you're up by 9 points in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter of a game against the Denver Broncos, you're one of your rivals. You don't go for it on 4th and inches when you're on the 35. You kick get the points. Even if the Broncos had scored all the points that they did to get up to get close to us, we still would have won by 1 point. You don't go for it in the clutch. I don't understand. Right? If you're ahead, you don't go for it. You take the smart points and you go through it. The only time you start getting greedy and try to get adventurous is when you're down. And you don't go with an inside screen. I'm sorry. You just don't go with that. I don't know. I'm just Denver played a hell of a game, but we played a way better game. We outplayed that team the entire game. Interceptions, turnovers, sacks. Outplayed them the whole game. And then
think of it this way: Derek Carr was like 21 of 22 passing, and that was in the first half.
Yeah, he did 90+%. Like I look at it, it was a loss, but he came out of his shell from the Rams game, which he played like a scared little girl. I mean, he did not it was like his first game ever in the NFL. And he's just like, oh man, I don't know if I can do this, coach. And then he didn't do it. So this time he played like the Derek Carr that we all know and love, at least Raiders fans. And I think he did a great job. That call was stupid, but yeah, no, he did fantastic. He did like 90+%.
It was 29 of 32 for 288 and a touchdown.
Yeah. Bam.
And Lynch had freaking 18 carries for 65. Leading receiver was Amari Cooper.
Yeah, Coop did amazing.
116.
Oh, yeah.
And it's great to see that Martavius Bryant was back playing because he was supposed to be suspended at some point this year for a drug violation.
Well, nobody's perfect. This mess is a place.
Well, I at least can say this. I think maybe Denver's upgraded quarterback was actually a bonus.
He was good. He was good. He's not too bad, but I don't see anything that's like really promising about him. I really don't. I don't see anything. I didn't think that Denver really had the charisma to take to win that game, and then somehow they ended up doing it because we gave it to them. But other than that, I thought it was a good game. I like it when they're not close, or when they are close. But
right.
Well, let's talk about. So what do we? Who else did we got go down the line here?
Kansas City and Pittsburgh.
Can we get a? Never mind.
Go ahead. Kansas City and Pittsburgh, man.
I got
Roethlisberger just didn't bring it to the table.
All right. Well,
there's several factors going into that. I mean, what they didn't have Antonio Brown?
No, Antonio Brown played.
Did he play?
However, it looks like this though, and this is an ongoing story now from the beginning of the season, from preseason. Pittsburgh's defense sucks. Let's be honest.
It's not good.
Without Ryan Shazier, that defense is fucking miserable.
Yeah.
Okay. There is no way in hell that again, usually they can't say that one guy on defense is usually the whole story, but that's the leader of the defense. And
I mean, I don't know if I know that you can't usually say that, but look at the Bears defense now that they've got Mac. I mean, really,
because he makes everybody on that team a little bit much better.
Because he works double. He works everybody else's job. Like I hate to say that. I'm a little salty that he left, but honestly, that's the best thing that's ever happened to the Bears in the past 10 years.
It definitely does. But at this point, you look at and a lot of people got mad at me for saying this in the preseason, and I really didn't honestly perfectly care, but I did call it out in saying that Mahomes is going to have a much better team, being the fact that he is actually surrounded with weapons.
Oh, he's got tons of weapons out there, man. I mean, I hate to talk about the Chiefs because they're my number. I mean, I hate the Patriots for a very, very deep reason, but the Kansas City Chiefs can go suck my left one. I can't stand those guys, and I can't stand their fans. I think their fans are more annoying than Cowboy fans, and that's got to be really fucking annoying. But on paper, Mahomes' kid's really good. Here's one thing that I don't understand: how the Steelers did not win that game. Roethlisberger threw for 452 yards. Mahomes threw for 326.
Yes,
I mean,
also the other huge differences, and I'm going to pull up the numbers here in the NFL Game Center. I'm sorry to say, Kansas City has a better running game at this point.
Oh, they do.
It's a much
they got
better
Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt is amazing. They got Kareem.
Let's see here. Roethlisberger also threw the ball 60 times.
Yeah. So I guess if no, you know what? That's a good way to put it in perspective, because he only made 39 of those 60 passes.
Yeah. And Connor, I mean, there was only 10 carries for the running game period throughout the entire game. So
yeah,
when you're down 21-0, you're going to be throwing the ball a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I really honestly, when it was tied, game was tied at one point. I think it was at 28. I really think Pittsburgh maybe should have ran the ball to keep KC off the field, and they really just didn't do it. Is Le'Veon Bell missing really a huge deal for the Steelers at this point?
I hope it's going to be a big deal, but like we were talking off the air, he was in Oakland last week, so I think that's a waste of money. I think we could have put that, but we have money we can spend now because we weren't going to spend it on. We decided not to spend it on Mac.
Yeah, but now you just also paid Derek Carr toward the end of the season last year for the contract extension.
Oh yeah, we would have paid $125 million. Yeah,
I believe so. It was something like
he better start working for that fucking money. Well, he worked for it. He's got weapons. I was a little bummed that they got rid of Crabtree, but we'll go on down the road here. I mean, but you look at Kansas City with what they did. I mean, Kelsey 109 yards, Sammy Watkins with 100 yards, Tyreek Hill only 90 yards.
Yeah. He had the same issue week 1 against San Diego that he had to come out of the game for a little while. So,
yeah, but he's still got points. I mean, he got a touchdown. Kelsey had 2, Conley had 1, and Hunt had 1, and then Robinson.
Well, that's also the other big thing is that now with Mahomes throwing the ball all the time, Kareem Hunt's not going to have very many carries. I mean, he had 18 carries for 75, but
yeah,
you're going to see that kind of steadily decrease, I think, a little bit. I think it's going to be more of a pass offense in KC.
Well, I think so too, and also now since they've acquired Sammy Watkins, I have a feeling that he's going to get. They're gonna rely on him to, because I mean he's got some rushing yards as well, and he could do it. I mean, he did it for Auburn.
But so far Mahomes has got 10 touchdowns in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and that hasn't happened in a really long time. So, let's talk about the fucking Jets fucking Jaguars game. That should be amusing.
The Jets Jaguars. Did the Jets play the Jaguars?
No, Patch Jaguars.
Oh, let's open up that. Let's peel that scab off, Ricky. I want to hear about that. Hold on. First off, what the fuck happened to you guys?
All right. So believe it or not, this was a stat I did not.
Hold on, real quick. Sammy Watkins played at Clemson, not Auburn. Orange uniforms.
It happens.
You know, orange. Yeah, it happens. Okay, go ahead. Let's explain what happened with that train wreck of a game.
All right. So I can actually tell you, this was a stat that came up before the game started, that Brady had never played in a game hotter than 90 degrees ever in his career. Isn't that hilarious? 97-degree temperatures on Sunday. The hottest game that Brady had ever played on was 90. It was in Arizona, and he was 1-4 in those hot weather games. So right off the bat, Brady's done.
Yeah. So what you're saying is he's a pussy.
No, it's just that he can't play in hot weather.
Well, and that's what's crazy, because but it was Sunday was an exceptionally hot day. I mean, in Mile High, because that was the main game I watched on Sunday, obviously, but in Mile High it was 112 on the field,
which is insane.
Holy, for Denver,
yeah.
In September, it's a little crazy. So we had a little heat wave going through the United States that day. So I'll give him that. I mean, if he's not used to playing in the heat, but
think of it this way: you don't really necessarily think of NFL football as a warm weather sport, unless you're in Jacksonville or Arizona. But Arizona plays.
Yeah, but they were at Jacksonville too. I'll give him that. That makes a big difference, because I know you lived in Florida for a little while. I lived in Florida for a little while too, and it is a swamp in Jacksonville. I mean, if it's 97 degrees, it feels like 115 with the humidity.
Yeah, definitely.
So I mean, I'll give it to him. I'll give him that, even though I hate to give Brady anything, because I think he's a mouth kisser, but is a mouth kisser.
Does kiss kids, so you know.
Well, yeah, but open mouth kiss your kid, that's weird.
Yeah, that's disgusting on my part, but anyway.
But he's your quarterback. You're going to back him anyways.
I'll back him on some things, not on everything.
Yeah, not on that. That's a little weird.
He does have a hot wife. That's the only thing I got to say about that. So basically, during the beginning of that game, Patriots did get the ball. CBS football, by the way, did fuck up by not starting the actual game on time, because they had to go to that KC-Pittsburgh rollover bullshit.
Yeah.
So you really didn't get to see very much of the first drive. Pats they get a first down, then they punt. Lose 2 key defensive players on Jacksonville's first drive.
Yeah.
Their best pass rusher and a safety. So that opened up a lot of shit. The scheming wasn't that great the first drive, so that happens. But it was more of a downfall, being that Edelman is now out for his second week of his 4-week suspension. You pretty much have players in spots that aren't supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
They did give Sony Michel, their rookie, a little bit of a taste in the NFL. I got to tell you, he did hold up very well during that whole beating.
I don't know, man. He's got the most yards on the whole team. For rushing.
Well, he was doing most of the run game, and he was actually catching passes out of the backfield.
Yeah, he got 7 yards on the backfield, and then he got 34, and you guys only had for rushing yards. You only had 82 the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So I mean, I can honestly tell you, the defense is not great, but Patriots defense never starts off well at the beginning of the season anyway.
Yeah.
Last year they had 5 games where the defense gave up over 300 yards passing. So this defense has still got some time to gel. You still have players that are coming back from injuries like Dante Hightower.
Mm-hmm.
The corner situation is not that great. That's a problem from Super Bowl last year. And to honestly tell you, not to duck away from it, but we got rid of Butler, and he has the worst defensive stats for a cornerback this year. So maybe, just maybe, Belichick actually put something on this and said, you know what, we can find something better. And there's a lot of young kids on this team that can play defense. They just got to give them the opportunity to.
Yeah.
So halftime, you're down points. You can see how bad Jacksonville was getting kind of worn down during the game. Their front seven. Patriots are actually able to scheme some better stuff. There was that one awesome catch by Cole.
Yeah.
In the fucking first half, which was awesome. I think that actually might be better than the Beckham catch, to tell you the truth. But you know what? They got the bigger news was they ended up getting a bigger, more talented receiver this week, Josh Gordon.
Yeah, that's big news. You guys got Josh Gordon.
The only trade
he came from Cleveland. Maybe he'll get used well.
Well,
I mean, because he hasn't been getting used in Cleveland. They ain't been doing nothing with him.
He does have some off-field issues, but at the same rate, I think he had the drunk policy.
What's that? He was drunk in public, or what?
I think he was doing the drunk thing and the drug thing at one point, but I know he's been doing sobriety classes and a whole bunch of that whole stuff.
Well, here's my thought on this. I mean, if these guys go out every week and they beat the living shit out of their bodies for your entertainment for 16 weeks or 17, maybe more out of the year, let them go out and get fucking hammered one weekend or every now and again.
He actually openly admitted that a game in 2013, he played the entire game drunk.
So did Sebastian Janikowski. Every goddamn game he played for the Raiders. Who gives a shit? He smoked cigarettes on the sidelines until they busted him. And then they're like, well, we're a family-friendly organization now, so we can't have you do that. So what did he do? He chewed tobacco up until they let him go, and he drank vodka out of a Gatorade bottle. True story.
But think of it this way,
granted, he was the field goal kicker, but other than that,
I look at it.
He was hammered.
I look at the whole deal this way: is that, and you'll probably agree on it. The Raiders have a certain culture in their locker room. Cleveland obviously has a culture which is probably not that great, which couldn't straighten out Josh Gordon to begin with. But now he's going to be going to the land of fucking Belichick.
Belichick won't take that shit.
Oh, no. Because, if he doesn't like you, he'll cut you. Like he did to the 28 other receivers that he signed and released this year. But there's a lot of veterans in that clubhouse that are going to set him straight. The question being is can he keep clean and can he learn that fucking sophisticated playbook? Because if he does, it's Randy Moss.
Deal with the coach that doesn't smile.
Yeah.
See, but like on paper, dude, Brady wasn't bad. He was 24 for 35. Granted, he only made 234 yards, but he was 24 for 35.
Yeah, but
Jags were 29 for 45, and they made but they made more. They made 377 yards in passing.
Yeah, but
Bortles is no joke, though.
But Bortles was also 10 for 14 on third downs, where the Patriots, I believe, were like 4 for 12 on third. And that was just right off the top of my head. But you're also throwing the running backs all the time. If you're not throwing the ball down the field, Gronk had 2 catches, for Christ's sakes. He was triple teamed half the time.
Yeah.
Without guys like Edelman running around on the field, or like another reliable receiver, somebody to take the pressure off of Gronk, you're not gonna be able to win games that way.
True.
It's just the way it was. I mean, we barely got past through Houston last week because of that, and the defense was Swiss cheese at the end. But at this point, I mean, they're going to Detroit Sunday. It's actually a game I'm actually going to sit down and watch. It's an 8:20 game, so I might be a little late for work on Sunday night. But it's Detroit hasn't really done anything, and they're going to Detroit. Or Detroit,
man.
I think Detroit comes to us, I think.
Now, did you watch the Texans and Titans game?
I did. I feel bad that I cannot actually sit there and watch a game where Marcus Mariota cannot play a full season.
Dude, they won, no? I mean, they won. Tennessee? I mean, the Mariota doesn't play for Tennessee. He plays for
Mariota does play for Tennessee.
Does he play for Tennessee? I thought he played for Carolina. Shit. I'm losing my goddamn mind here. That's Cam Newton. That's right. Fucking the beard.
That's what happens.
He's got a bass player beard. That's right. The bass player beard. God, what a stupid fad. Anyways, no, so Titans, I mean, he, like, Mariota, like, I mean, what's his name? The B,
Gabbard.
Yeah. He did pretty good.
Well, okay, so
13 of 20 passes, made 13 20 passes, 3 for 117 yards. Bayard, they tried 3 quarterbacks out in this entire game.
Well, actually,
wow.
One of them is a halfback pass.
Yeah.
They both have actually halfback passes. They're both their running backs threw the ball. But basically, Gabbard.
Bayard did pretty.
Yeah, he had the fucking 66-yard bomb. It was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, though, without Marcus Mariota quarterbacking that team, they are going to just shove the ball down your throat.
Yeah.
And they did that for 32 carries between Derrick Henry and Lewis. And they had a fucking 198 yards between the two. They're going to run the ball.
Yeah.
It's just sad, though, the fact that the Texans, the way they are built, are just not cutting the mustard this year. I'm sorry. I actually liked Deshaun Watson last year. I was pretty impressed when he did. And then he got hurt. So I know he's coming back from injury. But you throw 310 and you throw 2 scores, you should win a game. And
well, yeah. I mean, they were Tennessee came back and they nudged up with them, and then it was 17-17, and then was a Suckup hit the 31-yarder, right?
Yeah,
and then knocked him up to 20. And Suckup, like he used to play for the Chiefs, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yep. And I mean, I think they got rid of him because I thought he sucked, but apparently he doesn't suck for the Titans, and therefore Tennessee came out on top on that one. I'm trying to look through other games here just so we can, because I know we could talk about the Raiders and the Patriots all goddamn day.
Oh yeah.
But
okay,
all right,
you know what?
Let's go to this. Let's go to this little. Let's go to this. The 49ers finally got themselves a win. Hold on, before we go to the 49ers, since Derek, the producer, lives in Arizona now.
Oh my God! Here we go.
What a fucking win that the Rams had in LA this week. All right. Granted, they beat the shit out of the Raiders, so don't get me wrong. They beat the shit out of the Raiders. But we at least held them until like the 4th quarter.
All right. But you see, the difference is this, okay? The Rams, this is something that Philly tried to do a few years ago, where they had an all-pro at every position, okay? Jared Goff is a very, very good young quarterback, which they put weapons around.
Mm-hmm.
There are weapons. They have a running game. Okay, their offensive line is a ton better than it was 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
This is why young quarterbacks need to come into the league and sit the bench at least half a season before starting. so they can get groomed, they can get the real speed, and they learn the playbook a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Goff, two seasons ago, only started playing because their starting quarterback got hurt.
Yeah.
Took his bumps and bruises. They gave him weapons last year. They made the playoffs.
Well, and then this year, but
he's got
yeah. You know, I wouldn't say it's necessarily just, you know, the weapons that he's got on offense. They've also they stacked their defense up pretty hardcore, man. I mean, they took Talib, so they've got Talib, they've got Marcus Peters. I mean, honestly, those are two of the best defensive backs in the NFL.
And they added a very, very good piece in Ndamukong Suh.
Yeah.
They just fortified their front seven ridiculous. That's what
honestly, I think I want to say it. I hate to say it, but I'm looking at the Rams going to go at least doing well in the playoff, potentially they have Super Bowl potential. If everything goes their way, which it seems to be going in a 34-0 win over the Cardinals. Man, I don't know what happened to the Cardinals, but they don't got a lot going on for them. They really don't.
Well, they've had all right. So I basically look at it as
they threw for 90 yards and rushed for 54. That's not going to win you a football game.
No, but you also have to be able to have the ball on the field half the time.
Yeah.
And they did punt 8 times.
Yeah.
So, and they didn't even attempt a field goal, which is kind of crazy. But
you know what happens when you attempt field goals? You get points on the goddamn board.
Well, maybe they. I really didn't see very many.
Look at that, Gruden.
I didn't see very many highlights of this game, so.
It wasn't much. I think Derek is the one that actually watched it. He's just like, the Rams are bad. The Cardinals are not good.
They never got close enough to kick a field goal.
Yeah, the Cardinals. I mean, are you going to go to that game next week, Derek?
Yeah,
that's gonna be cool. You'll enjoy that. The Bears will probably win that one.
You guys got a lot of big news out of Buffalo. Vontae Davis retires halfway through a game, and then there's some LaShawn McCoy abuse allegations. Go ahead, boys.
Well, I'm going to go over that Vontae Davis thing because I actually thought it was pretty hilarious that they were getting slammed so hard by halftime that he just gave up. It was the game wasn't even over, and the news was spreading like wildfire. They made so many memes about him. I mean, think of it this way: you're down 28-6 at halftime. Okay.
Yeah.
From a team that had to fly cross country and was not picked to win this game, and they're blowing you out 28-6. I'd want to retire myself.
Yeah.
So, it was just so bad. I get the report across the phone. Oh, yeah, this guy's retiring. I'm like, he's kidding, right? Apparently not.
Halfway through the fucking game. Oh God.
Listen,
Chargers are picked to win. Chargers are picked to win the AFC, man. They really are. I mean,
I don't know.
AFC West.
I watched.
They're not going to win the AFC, but they're going to win the AFC. They're picked to win the AFC West. I don't see it happen unless Denver or Oakland pull something out of their ass. I think the Chiefs are probably going to win it this year.
I have a feeling that's the way it's going to go too. But I actually can tell you, I caught glimpses of this game, and there was a very big upgrade for San Diego after week 1 because San Diego really should have destroyed Kansas City last week. There was a lot of open passes downfield that receivers just couldn't hold on. This week, they held on to those. So they're going to gel. But to honestly tell you, Kansas City's offense is just obscene.
Yeah, they really are. I mean,
it's also the second.
It's really hard to go up with an offense, go up against an offense that includes Tyreek Hill, Kareem Hunt, and Travis Kelce. Like that, those 3 guys. Well, then you've got Mahomes there. That's a fucking powerhouse. I mean, those guys they're good players. Now here's the thing I think about. I'll put my prediction for the Chiefs right now. I don't want you guys to get your hopes up that you guys are going to go to You probably go to the playoffs, but you're probably going to lose the first round like you have the past 10 years. Because I think you guys need a better coach. I know you guys like everybody loves the Kool-Aid man, but there's something about the Kansas City Chiefs that every single time they get to the playoff, they'll start the season winning every single game. They'll go 5-0, 6-0. They're like, woo! And then tragedy strikes, and they just get the shit beat out of them, and then they never can recoup from it. They can do great with momentum, but once they get the carpet pulled out from under their feet, they're done. They might win they'll lose 3, and then they'll win one, or then they'll win one, lose one, win one, lose one, and then they'll barely get into the playoffs. I think that's what's going to happen to him. That's what happens to him every year. But with Mahomes, it might change.
I actually think that's going to be the difference. I think I'm just waiting for the glass slipper to fall when somebody key on that team gets hurt. Speed does kill, but eventually does speed burn out at some points.
Eagles, Bucks. I didn't watch that game at all.
Fitzpatrick is on his bounce back year again. He'll have his 1 or 2 bad seasons. Then he'll have his pop-up year where he'll do everything. Second week in a row, Deshaun Watson goes for a touchdown pass over 60 yards.
First one was a 75-yarder.
Yeah, but I think it's an NFL record that it's happened back-to-back weeks. And
Yeah,
Fitzpatrick also threw for over 400 yards.
Yeah, dude, Fitzpatrick. Looking at his stats, Fitzpatrick did great. He did fantastic.
Well, this is what happens, though. He has his 2 shit seasons like he did with the Jets and the fucking Bucs last year.
Yeah.
And now he's going to be freaking all-pro, quarterback for this year. But I can also tell you, I think Philly did really underestimate that. Their running game, again, not relevant. It wasn't relevant the first week against the Falcons. And this week, same thing. Only had 13
Well, Philly's also coming into it they're also coming in off of a winner. They won the Super Bowl. They think they're hot shit, and it's. Come on, man! No one expected the Philadelphia Eagles to win that Super Bowl, and neither should have their fans. But they won it, and so it's time. Let's get back to reality. I'm not going to say it was a fluke. They had a really good team. They deserved the win. Congratulations to them for last year, but I think they're coming into it like, oh, we'll fucking beat anybody. We won the Super Bowl last year. Well, it's a new year. Everybody's got new players. I don't see. I think they got they didn't really do anything. They made some points, but they didn't really do anything that impressed me too terribly well in that game.
Well, in this game here, obviously, the news was given that Carson Wentz is starting week 3. So Nick Foles can go sit his frumpy ass back on the bench. But he
didn't do bad, though. He threw 35 for 48, did 334 yards, only 1 touchdown. But, yeah, once they get Wentz back, it should change.
He also had a key turnover for a fumble recovery. It was a sack fumble on a pass play. And you know what? He hurt himself early in the preseason. I think it was the collarbone or something like that. And he just doesn't look right. He's just not throwing the ball right, I think.
Is he like Frankenstein or what?
I give credit to Tampa, though. Their defense played fairly well. And their offense is just rolling right now with Fitzpatrick. You can't really say very much after that.
So we got.
I'm going to tribute this next game to our producer Derek Relford, who's.
Let's hear it. He's been patiently waiting since 1985.
Yes, sitting behind the scenes producing the show. Chicago, Seattle. Now, I will tell you, I've watched this game from start to finish. I was extremely impressed by the gadget play that they had for the first Bears touchdown. They actually
years.
Well, no, they scored first.
I know. I'm just fucking with him.
Unfortunately, Aaron Rodgers did them in. But Trubisky, young kid, 25-34, 280. 2 scores, 2 picks. I said this offense was going to grow, and it is. It is growing, not to the potential that I really thought at the beginning of the season, but that Bears defense, wow. Khalil Mack.
Fuck off.
All up, man.
Fuck off. Damn it, okay. Fuck off.
The way I look at it
so sad. It's right? So sad.
It's sad, but you know what? You take that play, Khalil Mack, he was Defensive Player of the Year, 2 years ago?
2 years in a row.
So, okay, so now you got to put all your focus on Khalil Mack. You have just opened up the rest of the defense for everything, and it shows. It really does show.
Because they got a leader in there.
But the difference is, though, you got to change your scheme now. You change that entire scheme.
Yeah.
You got to double team Khalil Mack, and then here comes the freaking rookie off the edge. Come on. And they actually have receivers, which is good.
Yeah, they definitely do. Chicago played well.
But I will tell you, Russell Wilson actually surprised me. He did have two turnovers in the game.
He had one on interception.
Yeah, I also think he had a fumble too. I think it's second half.
Yeah,
their offense is sputter all over the place. It's like they really don't have a run game. Brandon Marshall needs to retire. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
he needs to retire or go play in Canada, some beach pickup football or something like that. But Brandon Marshall sucks.
He's 34, man. It's like, dude,
he's a prima donna.
He's 30. Yeah, he's 34. Dude, you're old, cuz. I mean, time to pack it up. That's when the old guys. So the old guys pack up their satchels and go.
By the way, your boy Sebastian Janikowski set an NFL record for the most field goals over 50 yards last night.
Yeah, I know he did.
Fucking insane.
What a cocksucker. Didn't do it for us the last 2 years.
That guy still got a leg. It's just not his.
Oh, I know he's still got a leg, but they probably don't let him drink on the sidelines like we did.
Well, I guarantee you, they didn't. From a lot of the highlights that I saw, because I did miss like one or two pieces. The new version of the onside kick is a drop kick now.
What?
Yes, it is a drop kick. It is one of the most weirdest things that I've ever seen, and Seattle did it twice.
You gotta drop it like
you literally just do almost like a little like gay punt.
That's exactly it.
It's like a gay 10-yard punt, and then you're literally kicking it over the wall of 8 people into a spot, and then you got to recover it that way. Or they have the pop-up kick, which I saw in the Giant game, which was actually pretty good. But I got to tell you, that new lineup for the freaking kickoff, onside kicks are not the same anymore. They're a lot more difficult, and if this drop kick is legal and they keep doing it, I think it just makes them a lot more interesting to recover. One of those things.
Congratulations to the Bears. Your one game of the season that you've won, that you're going to win, happened yesterday. Actually, you're going to win more. You got Khalil Mack. I'm sorry. We were talking about this before the show, and you're like, yeah, one player doesn't make a team. And, well, when you're talking about a defense, Khalil Mack makes a defense. He can make a defense. He just tells people what he wants them to do, and if they don't do it, he's just going to run them over and do it himself.
Well, I got to tell you, though, Chicago did add secondary. They stole Prince Nakamura off the Giants.
Yeah.
They've had him for 2 years, so they've upgraded at corner. Their secondary's a lot better. They have that rookie linebacker that they drafted this year. He's already paying dividends because Mack takes half the field. Mm-hmm. And their defensive line is not bad. It's not bad. There was a lot of upgrades in Chicago, and that's one of the reasons why when we made the bet at the beginning of the season that I said the Bears would have 7 wins. Well, that was win 1.
That was win 1. Yeah, but they didn't have Mack when we made that bet at the beginning of the season either. Dude.
That's not a disclaimer in the
It should be. It's Khalil Mack. That should definitely be a big disclaimer. Unless that team signs Khalil Mack, then all bets are off. Fucking defensive player of the year 2 years in a row. What do you mean that's not a disclaimer? All right, what do we got left here? We've got Dolphins Jets.
Okay, so
did we already talk about the Dolphins and the Jets?
No, we didn't. But I will tell you, again, another game, because it was here on the East Coast. It was the CBS game. The Jets do have a future with Darno. They do. However, him playing 3 games in 11 days is rough for any quarterback to get ready for. A lot of people were up in arms. They're like, oh, we're going to win this season because we put up so many points against Detroit. That was only game 1. You got deflated game 2. Miami's defense is better than Detroit's. Okay, he got hit. He made another bad decision with a pass this week and got picked off. He's going to go through his growing pains, but Miami is serious, real deal up front on defense. They added Amendola, who was a big factor. Yeah. Went out for a fucking concussion check again this week. It's like 2 weeks in a row for him. The Jets just don't have weapons.
No.
They have weapons, and their defense is a little soft. Soft. But there's no offensive weapons for really Darno to throw to.
Yeah, Terrell Pryor's still playing football. Holy shit! I didn't even know he was on the Jets. Yeah. Dude, I like looking at some of these guys' pictures on these apps here. He just looks like Sling Blade.
I think they only signed him to like a 1-year deal because he was hoping to be quarterbacking somewhere. And they signed him as a wideout. So
yeah. No, I think. I think the Jets. This Darnold guy, man, he doesn't seem bad. He doesn't seem like he's a bad player. Tannehill's tough to go up against. We got to go up against him next week.
The one thing I will say about Darno is that fucking with him, he's coached well. Like if he has a bad play, he doesn't get all pissed off about it. He goes over, gets onto the bench, sits down with the coach. They go over all of the pictures and stuff on the tablets or whatever, and they go over it, and he's just right back out on the field, which is what you want to see from a growing quarterback.
He kind of looks like a gummer though.
And he's like 20.
He is still a gummer. He's 21. Okay, what else? What do we have here, man? I don't think we have anything left in games, do we? Colts Redskins. Did we talk about that?
That was even a wash. Don't even bother.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there were games on this sheet that I looked at this week, and I just really didn't, The only other game,
Colts and Redskins. How does that make you feel that we talked more about the Cleveland Browns over you?
The only game that there is left is Dallas and the New York Giants.
Two of the stupidest teams in the NFL.
This is where I have a tremendous rant. Giants fans, when you listen to this, if you don't like my opinion, I really don't give a fuck, but I'm giving it to you straight. Okay? You fucked up in the NFL draft.
Yeah, they did.
Okay? You got Saquon Barkley. Fine. You should have drafted a quarterback. You really should have. Do not give me any bullshit for turning around saying Eli Manning is not the problem the first 2 games. Eli Manning was not blamed for game 1 against Jacksonville, but yet threw into a sea of white jerseys. What were you accomplishing with that? A pick 6. That was his fault. The offensive line was fucking horrible. And you could see it. Now it's 2 games in. They've had 6 games of some type of chemistry, and the offensive line is horrible. You signed 3 free agents to fill in your offensive line, and Eli Manning looks like deer headlights. Still.
I figured out Ricky's microphone issue.
No, I think you gotta get it closer to your mouth.
Yeah, you're talking like
'cause you
2
start
feet
to
away.
You start to look over away, and it starts to cut out a little bit.
No, there you go.
Put it down a little bit. Put it down a little bit.
I can't go any further.
Oh
no, it's just because you had your head like turned all the way complete. You were like past
and so
the mic.
we were missing stuff.
But
yeah.
I think that's what's been going on. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead. You were on something. I just wanted to tell you were cutting out.
All right. But they really should have drafted different. I really believe that. And this offense is paying. The Giant fans, just do yourself a favor. Do like the Mets and the Jets every year. Just hide your head under the pillow. And hope.
I don't think it's going to be this. This is not going to be your year, guys. He's not his brother.
Oh,
he's not his brother.
It's
getting those, but you look at his team photos, he's getting a forehead that's kind of like his brother's.
Well, that's because they like those super tight helmets.
Yeah, well, I think that's where they inject their steroids. But I mean, honestly, on paper though, really he missed 11 passes, but 33 out of 44.
But he was on his ass.
Prescott only did 16 to 20. Did 16 out of 25. Did only got 9. I mean, the yardage was there, but the rushing yardage. But I mean, yeah, your rushing yardage. You got Ezekiel Elliott, and Prescott did 45 rush for 45 yards. I mean, like we said earlier, if you're only one team's rushing 35 and the other one's rushing 102 yards more than you, that team, the team that rushes 102 yards more, they're winning that game. There's no way around it.
Yeah, but I also got to tell you though, and if you catch a lot of the NFL highlights from the game, Eli Manning was on his ass a lot.
Oh yeah, he's getting old, man. I mean, let's just see how old this old bastard is.
I think he's 37, and he's still they built this offensive line not only for the fact of the running game, but also to hopefully protect Eli. They haven't done it.
Yeah.
Nate Solder is 6'7", 300 and something pounds. You got him from the Pats to protect Eli's backside. He hasn't done it.
Yeah.
Eric Flowers, they moved him to the right side, thinking that was going to be great. That didn't happen. There are 2 starting centers from the last 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
One got released, one got traded. They put new pieces there that was supposed to be statistically better, and obviously they're not.
Yeah.
You have all of these weapons of Beckham, the tight end, Barkley, Shepard. They're all great weapons, but if you can't keep Eli on his feet, throwing the ball and making proper decisions, you're going to lose. And Giants defense sucks. Let's be honest with that too.
That it does, man. And I hate to say it because the Cowboys, I hate those guys. I think you should hate the Cowboys a lot more than I do, but I mean, because they're the ones saying they're America's team, and you guys are the Patriots. I don't understand how that goes into.
That's always been the slogan for them since like the early '90s.
Yeah, but how are they America's team?
I don't know. And you kind of figured maybe, well, they're America's team because they beat up the Buffalo Bills 2 years in a row. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, but what does that have anything to do with? Like, but that's I just thought like the Patriots. Okay, that's American. Okay, I got you on that one.
It's just
the Cowboys.
I think it's the hate thing once again.
Yeah.
But
so what do we got coming up Friday? Or who's playing on Thursday this week?
Thursday night is Cleveland and the Jets, which should be.
Oh man, somebody's gonna win that game. Somebody.
Well, maybe we can actually hope for a tie.
Yeah.
Maybe the Cleveland Browns will be 0-1-2. It'll be like hockey.
Oh my.
I actually think that would be pretty funny if it ended up being that way.
It's like football's becoming soccer now. Like they got so many points, but they go by a point system there. But yeah, so that could be a tie.
That could be. There was a line on the game.
So the Jets could be 1-1-1.
Yeah, that could be a possibility as well. Although I still really think that would be interesting.
I think it'd be hilarious.
And it's an 8:20 game, so I'll probably pop it on while the pipe bomb is on Thursday night, but I won't pay very much attention to it.
Yeah.
There are some great games coming up this weekend, though.
Yeah, there are. We got Raiders, Dolphins. We'll see. Who knows what's going to happen there.
Well, we'll be previewing Saints, Falcons. Would be one. Raiders, Dolphins, Giants, Texans.
Yeah.
49ers, Chiefs is going to be a great game.
That could be a good one.
Our producer is going to be at Bears, Cardinals.
Bears will probably win that one.
And then the Monday night game will be Steelers, Bucks. So we have all of those games.
Who knows who's going to win that one? I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But you also got Chargers, Rams. Who knows, man?
So there'll be quite a few games that we can preview on Friday.
On Friday. We'll be back to talk about a few more games on Friday. Derek, what do you think? Do you want to take a break and get on the mic and do some other stuff?
I don't care.
Okay. Well, so I guess that was
first episode.
That was the first episode of Archrivals Football. I thought it went pretty well. There's talk of getting another co-host. I don't know. He's a Chiefs fan, and
we just might have to throw him under the bus.
And just gross. But no, thanks to all the people that watched. If you guys, what you want to just like end it, and then we'll just start a TDRS for a little bit.
Yeah, we could do that. You're running the show, Derek. Chance to run smoke and do whatever.
I'm just waiting for you guys to say goodbye. Then I'm gonna run this intro again for just to end it.
All right. So we'll catch you guys on Friday.
Yep, we'll see you on Friday.
Have a good night.
Well, I was not expecting to get an arch rival today, but here we are.